Who would like to lead the prayers today?
I'll do, sir.
Okay, Shubhaji.
One second. Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyajyoti Parat Paraha Jyotireva Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi Atma Jyotishivosmyaham. I am the supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, inner world of thoughts, and deep sleep state. I am the divine light of the nature of auspiciousness, Shiva Swarup. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru is the creator, Guru is the preserver, Guru is the transformer, Guru is the absolute Lord himself. Salutation to that Sri Guru, the most auspicious, who removes the ignorance of samsara. Akanda mandalakaram vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru can guide us to the supreme knowledge of that which pervades all the living and non-living beings in the entire universe, namely Brahman. I salute such a Guru. Narayana Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Beginning with Narayana, through Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors. Beginning with Sadashiva, through Adi Shankaracharya in between and up to my own preceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of preceptors.
Thank you very much, Shubhaji. Hari Om and welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis to today's AVSC session on Aparokasha Anubhuti. Hari Om Deepaji, Hari Om Shilpakalaji.
Deepaji.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om,
everyone.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
So, what is the preference for today? Do we go directly into the questions in Aparokasha Anubhuti that we wanted to, or chant Upadesha Saram or Brahma Jnanavali and then go into that? Any preference? Anybody has an opinion? No opinion. Okay, all right. So then let's begin with the chanting. There, do we have a preference? Brahma Jnanavali or Upadesha Saram? Okay, there also no preference. Okay, we'll give the honor of choosing to our Deepaji today. Deepaji, what would you like to listen or chant today? Upadesha Saram or Brahma Jnanavali?
Upadesha Saram.
Upadesha Saram. Okay, very nice. Would you like to chant or are you comfortable chanting this?
I don't know what is Upadesha Saram, sir. So I said, I wanted to know what is it.
Okay, all right, excellent. This is a great way to know that. Who would like to chant then? Padmaji, Sarvanji, Shubhaji, you want to?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Okay, excellent. So, do you want to give a quick introduction to Deepaji about Upadesha Saram, whatever you have understood so far?
You go ahead with that. That is not coming right away to my mind. Explanation.
Okay. Who would like to share to Deepaji? Padmaji or Sarvanji, you want to say a short intro on Upadesha Saram?
So going by the meaning and from what I understand, it's basically a summary of his teachings. Saram, a summary, Upadesham, the all his teachings, and all the slokas also, they give a full summary of the entire again Atma Jnana. It goes down to that. So that's how I see it. Two-line answer. Maybe one more.
The shortest answer ever given by Saravanji.
Sarananji, yes.
He is becoming like the Panch Mata now.
He's a Panch Pa. Yeah, Padmaji, you want to add something more?
Yeah, so basically it's the answer to the question, who am I? But it's I think in its own way, although it's just four lines, it's also a elaborate way of, I think, the entire Tattva Bodha is kind of summarized in those things. Whatever is the essence of who am I, it has been beautifully, I think, given as this Saram. And in many of the shlokas, all the aspects that we have studied till now, like what is greater? Is it meditation? Is it chanting? Is it prayer? All those questions, I think, step by step, it is addressed in all this. How do you how the mind is in a control, or how the ego, or what happens to the ego, or when is it that you realize yourself? All those things, I think it is beautifully explained in this Deepaji. So you can say it's a summary of the entire Vedanta, like in a song, it's being said in a singing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Only one more point I would like to add. So the background is that, the question was asked to Ramana Maharshi, which is greater, karma or vichara, or karma or jnana? Karma is you do something and you get something. So is self-realization because of what you do? Yeah. So is it something that I can attain by doing? So more and more pranayama, more and more yoga, more and more of something, more and more dhyana. So if I keep doing more and more of something, will I one day attain liberation? So that is the central question with which Ramana Maharshi has given the Upadesha Saram.
Okay, Vijayji.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go into the listening of this. So Shubhaji is going to be singing for us.
Karturajnaya prapyate palam karma kim param karma tajjadam. Action yields fruit, for so the Lord ordains it. How can action be the Lord? It is insentient. Pratimaho dadau patana karanam palamashashvatam gati nirodakam. The fruit of action passes, but action leaves behind seed of further action, leading to an endless ocean of action, not at all to moksha. Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam chittashodakam mukti sadakam. Disinterested action, surrendered to the Lord, purifies the mind and points the way to moksha. Kayavan mana karyamuttamam pujanam japa chintana
Correct.
chintanam
Chintanam
kramat.
kramat.
This is certain. Worship, praise, and meditation, being work of body, speech, and mind, are steps for orderly action. Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Brat Deva Pujanam. Ether, fire, air, water, earth, sun, moon, and living beings, worship of these, regarded all as form of His, is perfect worship of the Lord. Uttama stavat ujjamandata chittajam japa dhyanamuttamam. Better than hymns of praise is repetition of the name. Better low-voiced than loud, but best of all is meditation in the mind. Ajyadaraya shrotasa samam sarala chintanam viralata param. Better than spells of meditation is one continuous current, steady as a stream or downward flow of oil. Veda bhavanat sohamityasau bhavana bida pavanimata. Better than viewing him as other, indeed the noblest attitude of all is to hold him as the I within, the very I. Bhava shunyasat, bhava sustiti, bhavana balat, bhaktiruttama. Abundance is in pure being, transcending thought through love intense, is the very essence of supreme devotion. Hristale mana swastata kriya bhakti yoga bo dascha nishchitam. Absorption in the heart of being, whence we sprang, is the path of action, of devotion, of union, and of knowledge. Vayurodana liyate mana jalapakshiva roda sadhanam. Holding the breath controls the mind. A bird caught in a net. Breath regulation helps absorption in the heart. Chitta vayavas, chitta kriya,
Chitkriya yuta. Chitkriya yuta.
chitta vayavas, chitkriya yuta, sakayorvayi, shakti mulaka. Mind and breath as thought and action fork out like two branches, but both spring from a single root. Laya vinashane ubayarodane layagatam punar bhavati nomratam. Absorption is of two sorts, submergence and destruction. Mind submerged rises again, dead it revives no more. Prana bandhanat lina manasam ekachintanat nashametyada. Breath controlled and thought restrained, the mind turned one way inward fades and dies. Nasta.
Nashta. Nashtamanaso.
Nashtamanasot Kristayogina Krityamastikam Swastitim Yata. Mind extinct, the mighty seer returns to his own natural being and has no action to perform. Drishyavaritam chittamatmana chitvadarshanam tattvadarshanam. It is true wisdom for the mind to turn away from outer objects and behold its own effulgent form. Manasam tu kim margane krute naiva manasam marga arjava. When unceasingly the mind scans its own form, there is nothing of the kind for everyone. This path direct is open. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashrita vrittayo mano Vindyaham mana,
Vidyaham mana.
Vidyaham mana. Thoughts alone make up the mind, and of all thoughts, the I thought is the root. What is called mind is but the notion I. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvata aipatatyaham nijavicharanam. When one turns within and searches whence this I thought arises, the shamed I vanishes and wisdom's quest begins. Ahaminashaba jayahama
Jahamahantaya.
Jahamahantaya spurati hrit paramapurnasat. Where this I notion faded, now there as I arises. The one, the very self, the infinite. Idamaham pada bhikyamanvaham ahami linake pyalaya sattaya. Of the term I, the permanent import is that for even in deep sleep, where we have no sense of I, we do not cease to be. Vigra Endriya Pranadita Ma Nahame Kasat Tajjadam Hyasat. Body, senses, mind, breath, sleep, all insentient and unreal, cannot be I who am the real. Sattva Bhashika Chitva Vetara Satyahi Chet
Tattayahi chet.
Sattayahi Chet Chittayahyaham. For knowing that which is, there is no other knower, hence being is awareness, and we all are awareness. Isha Jivayor Peshadipida Satsvabhavato Vastu Kevalam. In the nature of their being, creature and creator are in substance one. They differ only in adjuncts and awareness. Peshahanata Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam Swatmarupata. Seeing oneself free of all attributes is to see the Lord, for he shines ever as the pure self. Atma samstiti swatma darshanam atma nirdvayat atma nishtata. To know the self is but to be the self, for it is non-dual. In such knowledge, one abides as that. Jnana varjita ज्ञानहीन चेत् ज्ञानमस्ति किं ज्ञातुमन्तरम्. That is true knowledge which transcends both knowledge and ignorance, for in pure knowledge is no object to be known. Kim swarupamet yatmadarshane avyaya bhava purnachit sukham. Having known one's nature, one abides as being with no beginning and no end in unbroken consciousness and bliss. Bandha mukyati tamparam sukham vindati haji vastu daivika. Beyond bondage and release is steadfastness in service of the Lord. Aham apetakam nijabibanakam mahadikdam tapo ramanavagiyam. All ego gone, living as that alone is penance good for growth, sings Ramana the Self.
Thank you very much, Shubhaji.
Thank you, sir.
So any questions on any particular shloka or any statements? Deepaji, do you have anything to express?
I'll go through this again, sir, and ask.
Definitely. Shilpa Kalaji, do you have anything to share?
No, sir.
All right. Shubhaji, Sarvanji, Padmaji, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So then we'll go to contemplation of Aparoksha Anubhuti. So we have been contemplating on day one talk of the Aparoksha Anubhuti. So in the day one talk, we have so far established these many questions. And in that, we have completed contemplation of up to question number 5. So today the focus will be question number 6 and 7. What is Mukti? How is it any different from Aparoksha Anubhuti? How to attain Mukti? So this is going to be the focus of our today's contemplation. Who would like to begin? You want to begin, Sarvanji?
Okay. So I would say Mukti is liberation, and liberation can say that getting out of bondage, and what causes this bondage is the ignorance of who I am. The ignorance of the right knowledge leads to trap, bondage, right? And getting the right knowledge through jnana leads to liberation. And how is it different from Aparoksha Anubhuti? So Aparoksha Anubhuti, basically, we are talking about the direct experience of that ultimate state of Satchit Ananda Swarupi. How do I experience it? Right? So, and what we have seen is it's not a state that you get like tasting a mango leads to experience of how a mango looks like. So the liberation or Mukti is not a state like that where you get that experience for a few minutes and then come back. Rather, it's about removing that ignorance, which is correcting the knowledge, right? And once you know it, then like you remain with that knowledge. It's not like, yeah, I knew it for some time and then I forget it again, and then I have to go through the whole teaching again to know. No, like once you know it, and that's it. So the right the right knowledge, acquiring the right knowledge leads to erasing the ignorance, and so I basically the bondage that was trapping me falls off, and that leads to liberation. And like how do I like how is it felt? Then like one starts seeing that all the different things that look um, are from the same root. Example being, you see pots and pans and toys from clay, made of clay. Initially, you start with I like this form, that form, right? And the knowledge of like what all are built, all are of the same material, clay, leads to only seeing clay. And same way, the trap is that I am this body and I am this limited form, and outside me everyone is different, and like there is God who is the superior power, right? So that's where the ignorance starts with, and the liberation is I'm not this body, and rather this body is one of the form made out of, similar to how an object is made out of clay, right? I'm not this object, rather I am that I am that awareness, and like the awareness has no beginning, no end, right? So that removes the fear, the bondage leads to fear. Right? So this breaks that fear, and again, happiness. Like when you don't have the right knowledge, you think one tries to get happiness from things outside, and with the knowledge you understand that you are that happiness. You don't get it from outside. So the objects don't have they are all jada. They don't give happiness or the other feelings, right? It is the seer is the one. And so so that's how I would put. I would answer that question.
Excellent. So the Aparoksha Anubhuti itself is then, is it an event? Is it a particular event? I went to Mysore Palace and I saw Mysore Palace. Here are the photos to show the Mysore Palace. Like that. When did you go? I went day before yesterday evening at 7 o'clock. Here is the time and the date as a proof. Like that, is Aparoksha Anubhuti an event?
I would, yeah. So Aparoksha Anubhuti is about identifying who you are, which you have been throughout. It is just that the knowledge, when understood, let's say at a given time, maybe leads to identifying what is the right thing all throughout, which has been all throughout. It's not getting something new. It is identifying the one that is always which has been there. Right? It is just that due to ignorance, the one who was suffering perceived self as something else, right? And the Aparoksha Anubhuti or the jnana leads to erasing that wrong knowledge, and so that like you start seeing the real one. Oh, is it okay? I have been this. Oh, till now I was thinking that. So it is not getting something. in case of experience, like from object, like eating a mango, you get that sweetness, the qualities of the mango at that time. But here, in this case, it has always been there. It is just that like you identify it once you through the right knowledge that you have been that throughout.
So there are all these Jayantis, right? Buddha Jayanti. When you ask what is the reason why we are celebrating Buddha Jayanti, that is the day Bhagavan Buddha got enlightened. So is enlightenment, Aparokasha Anubhuti are also same. And then, how come there is Buddha Jayanti?
Yeah, so yeah, it's maybe my own answer. It may be that that realization of the truth maybe happened on a particular time, or that is the day the Guru gave that that teaching to his disciples, right? So it can be that, but obviously we all are like that all throughout, but the realization itself has taken through a process of chitta shuddhi, and then like deeper contemplation, leading to one day leading to a time where realizing that, oh, okay, I can see that the truth now. Okay, and I don't think it's time recorded or something. I'm sure even when one realizes the truth, it's not easy for others to get it right away. Right, so even though Guru gives the teaching, it takes a while for everyone to get it, and they will take their own time to understand what the Guru was saying. So maybe it's a way to remember the Guru's teaching, I would put it. But yeah, it is a gradual the realization goes through a phased approach, okay? And depending on the maturity of the seeker, if they have done more work in the past life, someone may get it soon, or someone will take time to get it, right? So that's how I'll put it.
Very nice.
What do you? Yeah.
All right. So we'll circle back. Let's also listen to others. So in a way, you answered the three questions. What is Mukti? Is it different from Aparoksha Anubhuti? And how? You also address the how. Okay. You not address it elaborately, but you touched upon it as the how is nothing but whatever that leads to Chitta Shuddhi. Okay. What is Shubhaji's feelings?
Yeah, Mukti is nothing but freedom from bondage of the three bondage which we always have, that I am the doer, I am the knower, I am the enjoyer. So when you have Mukti from these three things, then that is where rather the realization happens, that I'm not the doer, I'm not the enjoyer, and I am not the knower. That is when you attain Mukti. And the important points I will just say, whichever I found very really interesting. And when I talk about bondage, it says cannot be infinite, but freedom can be infinite. Is what that point really attracted me.
Hmm.
6 So the mukti literally means it is realizing that I am that wrong identification which we have in life, that I am a woman, I am an Indian, I am all that real. When we realize we are not that, and when we realize we are not that three states, and when we realize we are not that three bodies, that is when we get this mukti. How to attain mukti? Yeah, when we have the self-realization, then we automatically attain mukti. And one question I had is that regarding the Jayanti, they have no. 1 second.
Yeah.
Regarding realization that Jayanti they have, I had one question is that it is not that one day they attained liberation, right? All these big people. It is a going. It's a ongoing process, right?
Yeah. So what is the question?
Why Buddha did go through all those sufferings, and then he realized one day and said, like, this is the truth.
Yeah, but my question is, all these people cannot attain. It's just in what today I attained this thing, right?
Yeah, no, it's not a particular date recorded in history.
So I always had that question. How is that? Okay, today I say I am realized. It cannot happen that way, no? So how does that work?
You can capture the eureka moment.
So that's where, it is said, no, whatever you gain can also be lost. If it is something that you attain, then how can it be permanent? So for something to be permanent, it is not something that you can gain from the world. Because whatever you gain, the nature of what you gain in the world is something that can get lost. The money, position, power, titles, even the knowledge that we gain can be lost. So in that sense, how is this self-realization marked on a particular day and celebrated? So it's a social event. When there is a realized being, the realized beings, why is the realized being now continuing to be existing? So there is a Loka Kalyana. Meaning what? There are other seekers who can gain from this realized being. For the realized being, there is no other. So, in the first place, there is no mukti for the realized being. Because the realization is that I have always been liberated.
Freedom.
But I caught myself into a trap that, I am not. So, was I really not liberated? No. I was always free. So, therefore, there is no mukti also. However, in order to mark a certain, see, when there is an event, right, you can invite people, you can then, allow them to interact. So events are very important. Events are the ways by which, you attract. So Jayantis, in that sense, have a very important social and spiritual role to play in the life of a seeker. Jayanti is very important. They have a very deeper emotional connection to that Jayanti day, depending upon who they have faith on. So it again and again reminds them the path. In a way, the path is pathless path. Because the path leads you to a place where you disappear. So you might remember this picture. A serpent is eating its own tail.
Yeah.
Like a circle, right? The serpent is eating its own tail. So when the serpent has finished eating that whatever that it is eating, what will remain? Because the serpent is eating itself. So that's in one sense the sadhana. However, that is important. It is very important. So therefore, Jayanti days are, in one sense, social event days, so that more and more people have an opportunity to be part of this self-realization path. Like you rightly said, it's not a one fine moment. In one sense, it's a one fine moment. It is said that in the Buddha story, that night he sat. The Buddha Purnima day, the story goes, he sat under the Bodhi Vriksha and he said, until I have the answer to this puzzle, I will not get up from this place. And he got up, and it said that he was glowing like a full moon. Typically, if you look at it, Jayantis are on full moon days. So full moon is an indication, a symbol that it is now a full moon, full reflection of the reality. The ignorance has dropped. So therefore,
Is it because moon is related to our buddhi?
Mind.
Yes. Moon is like the mind, and the sun is the reality. And sun you cannot see with your naked eyes, but through the moon you can perceive the sun. So through the moon, which moon? A full moon. Buddha Purnima, Guru Purnima. See, they're all Purnimas. Purnima. So full. There is no more the separation that exists. It's like an empty place. The person who used to dominate that place has disappeared. The person is no more there. That ego which used to claim doer, enjoyer, knower has disappeared once and forever. Like the Upadesha Saram said, mind can be kept away for some time through some sadhana. While you're breathing, you feel peaceful. Why? The notion of, I am doing something, or when some other thought comes, you keep it away and you say, okay, come back to the breath observation. So the tendency of the mind to constantly chatter for a time being is kept away. Then also you feel that sense of, very peaceful, very nice. I felt so relieved, relaxed. However, the thought process once again emerges. It's like a deep sleep state. If I go to the deep sleep state with the ignorance, then when I wake up, still that ignorance rules my activities. When the root ignorance is removed, then it is like the mind itself, meaning what? That I am the mind, I am the collection of the thoughts, goes away. That I am a limited thought goes away. So like you rightly said, not really sure whether it really happened on that day, but for sure there is a socio-spiritual connection to the Purnima days. And also in the sense that on particular, correct, this is the truth. It is like a flash. It is like a flash. Yeah, correct. That's it. Realization is always a flash in any situation. Something that is born dies one day. It's a flash. Correct. That's true. Now, so many things would have led to that point. Your contemplation, you seeing something else. Like how Buddha saw an old person, a dead person. So, seeing that, suddenly something flashed. This world is nothing but suffering, which is a statement of truth, which is a statement of realization. Aham Brahmasmi is a statement of realization. All are Buddha only is a statement of realization. However, something has led to that realization. What has led to that realization? In one sense, every situation of life till then has led to that. Your realization is a sum total of all the experiences that you've gone through. You cannot say that a single experience is what led me to this. I meeting my guru is what caused liberation. True. But what enabled you to recognize that guru is important or that guru is your guru? What was the trigger before that? So in one sense, all the experiences are therefore divine experiences only.
One question on that. The full moon day,
Yeah.
as moon is related to mind, like what is the effect of the full moon day on mind? Is it like mind remains prominent or mind is
So
like,
that is where for an Ajnani, especially an Ajnani who probably also has some mental delusion, the mental delusion becomes prominent. So lunatics, right? Luna means mind. Yeah. So lunatics,
mind.
they become more prominent in their behavior of lunatic behavior on the full moon day. So for the Ajnani, the mind becomes prominent. For the Jnani, that is where in the Upadesha Saram you saw I. So the real I is reflecting in the mind, is the realization. So what is mind then is real I only. That is why in the Upadesha Saram, in the very beginning.
What about sadhaka?
One
in between.
So mind is awareness on which you set limits. Right? So therefore, mind is also nothing but awareness only. Because mind, where is the power called mind coming from? Nobody created something called as a mind.
Yeah.
In the beginning, for the sadhaka, mind is taught as collection of thoughts and to separate away from that. However, in the ultimate realization, mind is something not is separate from the self. However, from an Ajnani standpoint, he is so deeply connected with the thoughts that he or she gets recognized as the thought. So therefore, in the beginning, mind is taught as separate. But in reality, there is nothing that is separate from the self. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma.
Yes.
All is divine only.
Yeah.
So therefore, for the sadhaka, depending upon the level of sadhana, it is an opportunity to keep moving towards that self-realization. So for a sadhaka also, depending upon the level, in one sense, for the realized, the day appears like the night. For the unrealized, the night appears like the day. We have seen that. Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam. No, not that shloka. The very initial shloka where Sri Krishna says, for the realized, day appears like the night and the night appears like the day. Are you able to recall that shloka?
I forgot. Why do they say that? Night, no, for the realized, night appears as the day.
Correct. And the day appears like the night.
Now, why? Yeah, why do they say that?
Yeah, so let's first recollect that shloka. Which is the shloka? It is
Ah, sir, it is that only, no? Yanisha Sarva Bhuta.
Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisha Pashyato Munehe. So what all beings consider as day is the night of ignorance for the realized one. And what all creatures see as night is the day for the realized sage. So what it means, when do a person of samsara
Doing all the
consider,
activities is night of ignorance. Okay. You're
right?
saying all
Huh.
action is because of ignorance.
It
So,
is not truly about night and day.
is night darkness. He's talking about
The
darkness.
darkness of the ignorance. So in the darkness of the ignorance, what he considers as a day, oh, I have to earn. When can I earn? During the day,
Yeah.
right? Oh, there is something to enjoy. So all that is seen as by the worldly people as what I can gain. When I can gain? During the day. And that is seen as night of ignorance. And what is really the day for a realized being is the night. What does it mean? In the night, in the darkness of the night, there is no distinction of name and forms.
Oh, okay.
There is no
Or you can say peace.
Sorry?
Peace. There is peace, quietness, peace.
How? There is no name and form.
Yeah, name
In
and
the
form.
lack of name and form, there is quietness only. There is peace only. So a realized being has recognized that. So therefore, for the realized being, what the worldly person does seems like an act of ignorance. So therefore, it is night. What they consider as day is night. So the behavior of the worldly person is a behavior of ignorance. So it is night. In that sense, we have to understand this.
But actually, it is only from a Jnani point of view. From a Jnani point of view, there is no difference between day and night. It's all the same. Can I say that?
True, true. Even day and night is what you
It is
label.
a
You labeling,
name.
right?
Name.
So
Yeah.
tell me exactly where the day ends and where the night begins.
You can say sunset.
Correct. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
is it like tuck, lights off and then tuck, light begins? And actually, has the day ended? It is just that your globe on which you are has.
Yeah, that changes from place to place, no?
So there is really no day and night in one sense. Sun is ever shining. You are now saying, oh, sun has set. Has the sun really set? So it's you who is naming events in life and claiming this is the boundary. The day has ended here and night is beginning here. So all
Jnani remains in the same state.
Sorry?
Doesn't matter. While a Jnani remains in the same state. All through.
Jnani is steadfast. Jnani knows that the earth has rotated. So therefore there is a appearance and disappearance of sunlight. So it is not that it's something else, but for the sake of transaction, you and I have to, for the sake of enjoyment in this world, we have to have some transaction, some tamasha, some circus, some joke.
Okay.
So the joke doesn't end. But for the Ajnani, the joke is suffering. For the Jnani, when the suffering has ended through right jnana, it's a joke.
Yeah.
So does that bring clarity to the question of full moon day?
Yeah, just trying. Yeah, I was trying to understand if there is any. You were saying, right? usually the Jayantis are celebrated on a full moon day. So full moon day represents, the way I took it is, a full moon represents light. So, which is basically eliminating darkness.
Yeah. But
I
remember
just
that,
took it
that
took
moon
it that
itself,
way.
moon itself is not the source of light. You have to recognize that very clearly. Moon is not the source of light. Light is coming from the sun, and moon is fully reflecting that light. So therefore, the body of the Jnani is not the body of the Jnani is not the light. However, it's a full reflection of the light.
For me, your video is
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it's
Sir,
mine,
your
sir.
word,
Your voice is
sir, your words are breaking.
Yeah.
Okay, is this?
I
is
Can
thought
you
it was
repeat
mine.
that?
So please repeat the statement you.
Yeah, yeah. From that moon, sir, that light is
Yes,
not
yes.
something you said.
Okay,
I thought it was my video.
all right. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
You're audible, but it's breaking.
Copy.
Like in a sentence, like 5 words. If you speak 5 words, 3 are heard. Like that, it's coming, sir.
Okay, all right. Let me slow it down. So the moon is not the source of the light. Light
Correct.
is from sun only. And moon is
Correct.
only reflecting the light. Seen from the earth,
Yes.
you see some reflection depending upon how much of the moon is exposed to sun. On the full moon day,
Yeah.
it is fully exposed. So
Fully
full reflection. So therefore, the mind of a jnani has attained the fullness.
Fullness. Okay.
Has attained the fullness. And what it is reflecting? Divine only. That light,
Atma
Jyotir
Jyoti.
Jyotihi Paranjyotihi. That which is Swayam Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi. So that Jyoti is what is getting reflected through the mind and body complex of a jnani.
That is the connection.
And there,
now I can, I can.
there
see it.
you and I can fully feel it.
The state to reach is that the mind fully reflects the inner light.
Yeah.
Like how on a full moon day, moon reflects completely the light from the
So the
sun.
ignorance, the seed of the ignorance has completely vanished through sadhana. There is sadhana prior to that. But that ultimate as it's not because of sadhana. So in a way, it's because the sadhaka disappears. The disappearance of the sadhaka is true liberation.
Yeah. Even the thought of the sadhaka means there is a black dot. Even if the momentary I will also be a black dot. So it has to be completely for a complete reflection, there cannot be something in the middle.
Correct. That is what Ramana Maharshi has given us.
A mirror can be a pure mirror only when there is
no dust. That I. So that the Ishvara Guru Atmeti. So Sadguru is Ishvara only.
How did you interpret that I didn't get.
So what is true I? Sun.
You meant to say that okay.
The true I is sun, which is ever shining and ever glorious. Now, there's a body-mind complex that you recognize as Sadguru. Now, there also, what is reflecting? That pure I only.
Yeah.
So recognition that I am nothing but that pure I, where does that recognition happen? Through the intellect. So when that recognition has happened, then where is the separate I who's recognizing? There is
It
no
is getting
separate
cut.
I.
Your voice, sir.
Maybe you
Yeah,
can stop
we couldn't-
sharing and
I'll stop
there
my
is some
video.
setting also.
Okay, stop my video. Is the audio coming okay?
Let's see. Yeah, please continue. See.
Okay, so please tell me what you heard.
We were talking about the I. So from
Okay.
there, like the explanation has been
Yeah, the
formed.
essence was we didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the true I is sun. And on the moon is the reflection of the sun. So
Yes.
moon
That's fine.
reflects only as much light as it can receive, based on what else is blocking it, isn't it? On any other day, the
Yeah.
moon reflects only partial light of the sun.
Yeah.
But on the full moon day, it's a full reflection of the true sun.
Okay.
So then there is no more light that is lost. The full light is being reflected. So in a similar way, the ultimate realization is that I am that only. So I am that only means what? There's a recognition for the sake of communication that I am that only. So that and I are not two separate, but to communicate, it can be said as I. There is a true I which is reflected through the body-mind complex of the Sadguru. However, is it the infinite I that you can see? You cannot. You can never see infiniteness of the I. Yeah. But you can recognize the infiniteness of the I only because of the jnana given by the Sadguru. And Sadguru has no blocks while communicating. So
he can
Sadguru
reflect.
is simply reflection. Because there is no person called Sadguru there. So that is why we said in our yesterday's contemplation during the Bhagavad Gita, Rishayo mantra drishtaraha. Rishi is the perceiver of the mantra. So there is no person to block. So existential reality is flowing through that body-mind complex.
Any identification is the hindrance.
When
you drop that,
Does that bring clarity?
Yeah. Going back to that full moon day, fine. Got it.
Okay.
So that goes back to Jayanti. That's where the discussion
All
was.
this discussion began. Yeah. So is the Jayanti now clear?
But actually, there is one more thing I realized, right?
Yeah.
With Jayanti, what? Yeah. So I was just commenting on that. With Jayanti, what we are saying also, we can see the trueness, which is for a realized one, there is no death, birth and death. So with Jayanti, the realized one keeps living forever.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
so Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, Paramahamsa, they live forever, even though the physical form, the body was there for a while, but in essence, they live forever.
Correct. So Dakshinamurti Stotra starts by
Which is what we are learning as well. Yeah.
Dakshinamurti Stotra starts by Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. In the silent mind shines the real self. Imagine there is a bowl. Imagine there is a bowl of still water, and there is moon, full moon above you. Then in the bowl of water, you can see full reflection of it. It can be moon or it can be sun, any object. But in the still water, the reflection that you see is as real as that actual object. Whereas in the disturbed mind, that object appears, you can take a look at this picture. In this picture, if let's say this is still water, if this is still water, then the reflection will be as real as the real self appears to be. But if there is ripples or if there is disturbance, then it will also be disturbed image. So that is how another way to look at I. The real I and the reflected I.
Reflected.
The reflected I is now nothing but the real I only.
There is no small I.
There is no small I, yeah. But it is reflected. So, which means what? That body and mind complex is not Sadguru. Because Sadguru is the ever-flowing truth.
Yeah. So basically, the one is available in the form which this body form can identify to
Correct.
to
Correct.
learn.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why is so? Krishna says no in Bhagavad Gita, for the embodied, formless is very difficult to comprehend.
Correct.
They can get deluded. So for the embodied, through the form, it is easier to relate to the formless.
Yeah. Or for one who is speaking, who knows only English, you have to tell in English.
In English.
So
Correct. Yes.
same way for the embodied, you have to show up as a body and then give the teaching.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
And what the embodied Sadguru says, that I am formless, that I am in all the forms. Now it is for the sadhaka to take that sadhana forward.
Try to understand that. Interpret that.
Yeah.
teaching.
Interpret that and live according to that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Padmaji, do you want to share your understanding of Mukti, Aparoksha Anubhuti?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sorry for interruption.
Yeah.
As Shubhaji completed, was there anything more Shubhaji wanted to add?
No, sir.
All right.
So, Mukti is like all of them described, it is liberation. Aparoksha Anubhuti is I have been experiencing it, but I didn't know it. So it's always been there. It's just that I didn't realize it. So I have been thinking that I am this, that, and making up all those, my own creations in the mind as to who I am. But actually, I have always been experiencing it. I didn't know it. So the knowledge, the right knowledge clarifies that. That's all. So you realize because of the knowledge that who you were all along. So there is no new, there is nothing new coming to you. Similarly, mukti is also where you are entangled into all the, you're always into the outer world, doing something, getting something in return for what you do. So this has been your journey. So again, that is what you are perceiving as yourself. Okay, this is who I am, or this is adding value to me, this is giving me happiness. That kind of search is always there. So when you get the right kind of jnana, then that leads to mukti. So in essence, I think they both are the same only. It's just that the knowledge part is the search for the mukti is what leads you to the to even go seeking that jnana, is what I think. Then how to attain mukti? So for to attain mukti, first of all, the seeking has to be there. And I believe that each one of us, when we go through a certain kind of suffering, where we come to a point that, okay, all this is enough, or is this all there is? What more is there? In how can my happiness, or how can my feeling of happiness be permanent? When we start looking for those questions, then we start to really start going within. That is when we even start to seek anything related to the self, to understand ourselves. So that is where the seeking starts. And when the seeking starts, I think the first thing that you will need in this path is a guru. So with the grace and blessings of the guru only, anything can happen in that direction. And once you get a guru, then you start to understand really through various texts and scriptures. So the next part would be the Shravana Manana Nidhyasa, to listen to the scriptures, assimilate them, and how to be in that state. And then through meditation, as you go more and more deep within, you start to understand who you really are, or rather who you are not, in various ways. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. All these things are eliminated. And as these things are eliminated, I think your interaction with the outer world also changes, because now you are not just interacting uh, mindlessly or without any thought process. What is needed to be done, only that is done. That kind of clarity comes within us. And I think with clarity, slowly chitta shuddhi happens. And yeah, so that is how you can attain mukti. The third question was, that was the third question.
These are
You
the
said.
three questions. What is
Ah,
mukti? So in
yeah,
a sense,
how to attain.
you don't see mukti as different from Aparoksha Anubhuti.
No, sir, because only when you seek mukti, what is mukti? I mean, what mukti is liberation, but when you know who you really are, there itself you will get mukti, no? So it is one and the same. The moment you realize who am I, then what is the need for you to feel a bondage to anything? You will be free at that moment itself, because there is nothing tying you. There is no attachment. So you will anyway give your all, like just like the divine, who will, or just like the sun, who is impartial, who shines on everyone. That is how you will be, like the sun. So there is no bondage for the sun. No, it will shine. It will shine on everyone. It will shine because it has to shine, or because that is what it knows. It will only do that. So that is how you will also be, like the sun. So I feel that they both are same only. Where yeah, the point, maybe it merges at that point, is something I can say. For a sadhaka, maybe mukti is different, because it's a path, something he sees it like a path. But once you realize who you are, then they both are, I think, same.
Excellent. Very nice, Padmaji.
Yeah, sir, I have one question though. We were talking about the full moon.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is correct, but is the energy level different on a full moon day? Like usually when you see, I mean, even Guruji or anyone, all the great masters, they give importance to meditating on a full moon day. It's like more conducive to our meditation and sadhana. Is that like is it true? Like is the energy higher on those days?
So you can think in one direction, which is when you look at this phenomena of how the tides get attracted to moon. So there is a higher tide on full moon days near the seashores.
Correct.
So similarly, the the body, human body also is made up of water. So there is a higher tide. So there is a uprising, right?
Okay.
So in energy way of looking at it, yeah. But what is really the gravity? What is the object that has to be pulling us on any day, for that matter? So the moon is a celestial object, and the water is getting there is an uprising of the water. Through that, you can see that there is an upward movement of energy. You can see that.
Correct.
So the upward movement for the sadhaka then is the gravity called Sadguru, and the jnana of the Sadguru is the upward raising. So the ability to recognize, so the sadhana, the more the sadhana, see what happens. We are a creature of our habits. We tend to fall back into our habit patterns. So therefore, breaking away from the habit pattern is the most important step in the sadhana. I have so deeply ingrained space and time constraints. That becomes my deep ingrained conditioning. I have to do these things at this time only. Without that, I won't be able to succeed in life. And without this, what will happen? So it is deeply ingrained that it is very difficult to break out of that pattern unless some kind of a incentive is given. So the initial incentive, therefore, is you become free from you will have bliss, unlimited bliss. If eating one chocolate or one ice cream is bliss at level 1, this is a million times more bliss. So there is a carrot that is placed in front of the sadhaka. Not that it is untrue, it is the truth. But in the mind of the sadhaka, what appears? Oh, one day, the pleasure of so many chocolates. So that is how the journey begins, right? So in that sense, full moon day, meditating, energy level raising are all correct. Is it helpful? Definitely helpful. But what is the more important thing for a sadhaka? To recognize that not just full moon day, but any other day, I have to have the same conviction. With that same fervor, I have to continue my sadhana. Yeah.
Just have one question or a point. Is it anyway related? So since we are talking about energy levels, so it said that like for a jnani, the energy level is at the lower chakras, and in all talks, Guruji keeps saying like you have to take the energy level to higher chakras, and does the full moon day aid in the energy going to the higher chakras naturally? Is it?
No, unless there is the right jnana, it cannot. Because the full moon days have been coming and going.
Yeah.
Guru Purnima has been coming and going. Ajnani can remain Ajnani. So when the right, so therefore the chakra, let's understand it at two levels. We associate chakras at a physical level most often.
Yeah.
Which is one way of looking.
Okay.
Another way of looking is, these are nothing but our mental blocks. Okay, our mental associations. I am mostly associated with my living and
lower
surviving.
level of thoughts.
I'm living at my Mooladhara chakra. All the energy, because what is mind? Mind is nothing but energy. All my energy is devoted to survival.
Yeah. I just need something to eat. More eat. Yeah.
Then slowly it raises. Let's say it raises to recognition. I have to get recognized. I have to do something highly, very ambitious in life. Then people will recognize me. So that is survival at a slightly higher level. Now all the energy is devoted towards that Rajasic activity. I have to gain, I have to attain, I have to make a name. So from food, shelter, sex, it has now moved to higher level, which is recognition, acquiring something abstract, name, fame. But still, it is caught up. The mind is still caught up. So like that, when you look at the evolution in terms of association to certain predominant thought processes, that becomes your energy center. And it is not at a particular place in your body alone. Because mind, where is mind? Impossible to pinpoint at mind. Mind is everywhere. So at a mind level, when you look at it, your predominant thought processes become your blocks. And that is the energy center at which you are resonating or operating, you can say. And as the right jnana comes, you start moving towards Agna Chakra. What is Agna Chakra? Is the awareness. Typically, we tend to show at the, in between, right?
Body. Yeah, physical plane.
But why is that? Because it is in between your two eyes. Your two eyes see physical reality. In between the two eyes is this third eye through which you perceive the unseen. You see through the two eyes the name and form of the energy. Through the third eye, you see the nameless and the formless energy. The chakshurunmilitam mena, the jnana chakshu. Third eye is your jnana chakshu. So through the jnana chakshu, you can recognize. You cannot see. You cannot see like how your two physical eyes see, but through your jnana chakshu, you can see the reality. So you are now operating at a Agna Chakra, meaning you started recognizing the Guru's Vakyas are, you are able to perceive them. Guru says, all is nothing but illusion. How is it so? Energy appearing and disappearing in different names and forms. I see it. You say, no? I see it. But if somebody comes and asks, show me, where can I see? No, you need to come through this sadhana marga. you cannot see through your physical eyes. Come, I can help you. So like how our Shubhaji and Saravanji yesterday, at the end of it, they said, it's so clear to see how when at the beginning of the journey, one is seeing life. When they come into Bhagavad Gita, I can see that, where they're caught up in their thought process. But you can see, they cannot see. Because your eyes have opened. And you are now helping them to open their eyes. So you see what they are not seeing and what they are also seeing. So like that, chakra is your predominant thought pattern. So therefore, as you gain maturity in sadhana, you raise in your evolution. So chakras are nothing but these emotional thought process, because where your thought is, where your energy flows. So you are said to be operating from that center.
Yeah. Again, coming to that question, but in the physical plane, is the full moon event a significant one in terms of for the sadhaka, like does it aid? Does it help?
It definitely aids. It definitely aids.
That's why they recommend
provided
meditation.
the right sadhana is done.
Yeah.
So on the full moon day, if you're fasting, if you are in the right kind of let's say jnana, and when you take up whether it is chanting, whether it is meditation or contemplation, all of that helps. Preparedness is important. Chitta Shuddhi is important.
Yeah.
Sir, also one more thing I have noticed, like just like on a say on a Ekadashi or something, when you fast, right, you can experience that same kind of thing. Like every day we are focused more on feeding the body and all that, right? But say you are fasting, you haven't had food for say more than half a day for the early first half. There is one you feel that you're more energetic. Probably because energy has been conserved from going into digestion or what, and your mind is very active that time. It is very active, and even if you want to chant and all, it's very easy to concentrate and focus. That is something I have observed. Also on the same full moon day, like you said, the thought process has to be right. Say you are restless on that day for some reason, some agitation comes, that is also magnified, is what I feel on a full moon day. It is not only the sadhana. I mean, if you're meditating, of course, you'll have a good experience. But if you're restless or something which is disturbing is happening, that also gets magnified.
And that is where the maturity of the seeker, if the jnana is mature, then immediately the jnana becomes the antidote. And jnana
you can bring back. You can come back.
So like you rightly said, that divine energy, that energy in your body is always, you can feel that divine energy, you can always feel, provided you are able to recognize. So the Sukshma Shakti, which is always upward rising and which is always been sustaining you, is always there. Devi, that is the recognition of the Devi, the Shakti Rupa. So that Devi is always there. Only do I have the eyes to see the Devi is all that matters. So Devi can be seen all the time. Is this bringing clarity to Saravanji? Or are there still some questions?
No.
Padmaji,
Yeah.
is there anything more you want to say?
Something
on this?
No, no, sir. No, sir. I think I'm finished with this. Yeah.
lot of new knowledge on full moon. Full moon day today. It looks like
Yeah. No, but I don't know about other great people. But sir, for Buddha, no, all three happened on full moon day. He was born on a full moon day, and I think the Bodhi tree, under the Bodhi tree, when he got enlightened, was a full moon day, and also when he left the body, that is also on a full moon day.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that much I knew. Yeah. But yeah, the Jayanti thing was like, yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it in that way, like how you, I think that's something special that only you bring, like many things that I have not thought about before, no? Some question from you will prompt that. So, yeah.
Very nice. Deepaji, would you like to share your understanding?
About Mukti and Aparoksha Anubhuti, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, question number 6 and 7.
Yeah. Aparoksha Anubhuti is the direct experience of the self, and though we have that in us, we actually were not recognizing it, and jnana leads to non-duality, and that is how we actually get that direct experience. And Aparoksha Anubhuti will just lead us to Mukti, because we'll be free of the doership, the enjoyer, I being the enjoyer, the thought that I am the enjoyer and I am the knower. That's it, sir.
So
And,
are they one and the same, or are they different? Aparoksha Anubhuti and Mukti?
they are one and the same, sir. Only the knowledge brings the, the knowledge that that bliss is already there in me will help in liberation. Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
When I think of this word liberation, I actually had thought that we won't take birth. But earlier in this class itself, it was in this session itself, the previous session, it was mentioned that though the body takes birth, it is free from all the bondages, and that is Mukti.
Yeah.
Now, that one was surprising to me.
Yeah.
But is it really so? Suppose if the enlightened person again takes birth,
so let's understand it clearly, no, Deepaji? So Shri Krishna therefore says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata. So what is he saying there? Whenever there is a decline in dharma and adharma is raising, I take birth again and again. So let's understand the difference in the birth. So is the world of bodies a problem? Is the world where there is sun, moon, trees, water, flower, bird, people, country, this own very body through which you operate, is that the problem? If that is the problem, then you get into a thinking that birth and death, freedom from birth and death, as a no more body. But look at it this way. The problem is not in the body. Body itself has no problem. It's not giving you any problem. It is your deep-rooted thought patterns that I can gain peace and happiness through the body. That is the problem. So, through jnana, you come to realize that nature of the body is birth, maturity, decay, and vanishing. And the body, when it is kept proper, like how a car is kept proper, can run optimally. But does it mean it will not have any kind of, let's say, starting problems or suddenly flat tire happening? It will be there. That is the nature of the car.
Yeah.
When I become the car, when I am the car, there is a problem. So the world of bodies is not the problem. The problem is because, first and foremost, I have become a body, and therefore I have a distinction from other bodies. Therefore, I get into a suffering in my mind that I have to become free from this. And freedom means no more birth and death. So what is birth and death? The body is constantly dying, constantly taking birth. What you consider as a very solid piece called body is not really solid at all. It is as fluid as a river water. In a river, water is constantly flowing. Your body is constantly flowing. Old cells are going, new cells are coming. Constant flow is happening. But you are not recognizing the constant flow. You are getting stuck to an image. For example, right now, your Zoom is coming as a particular image of your daughter. Now, is your daughter like that?
No.
It was taken at a particular point in time. So now that snapshot has become your DP.
Yeah.
You constantly in your mind, constantly look at the DP and say, oh, my lovely daughter. Your daughter is as lovely today also in the way she looks. But her looks have changed dramatically. But in your mind, you may be craving for this image. That is the ignorance.
Yeah.
What is a flow? You constantly keep taking snapshots and you store in your mind and you keep wanting to be that only. Life has to be this only. If let's say she likes tomorrow, she says, Amma, I don't want to wear all that flower thing. Why you made me wear all that? I want a very simple haircut. You may feel little bit hurt. Why? Because you have a deep association to that form. So coming out of that is Mukti. Then you can see that life is nothing but a flow. Body is constantly flowing. Every body in this world is part of that flow. In fact, water as river is more fluid, mountain is less fluid, but it is also fluid. Air is more fluid than water. A rock is less fluid. So it's only in the degree of fluidity, it is different. But fluidity is there. Everything is constantly changing. That is what you call as a fluid, no? So everything is constantly flowing. Where there is a flow, you are constantly seeking a snapshot. And you want that snapshot. That is the root of our suffering in life. I want to be as young as I look now. So I get into all sorts of shenanigans. Putting lipstick, powder, going through surgery. All that is because I'm not okay with the flow and I want a static image. And that is adharma. Adharma means what is natural and existential, you do not like it and you want to change it. So you get into a friction with nature. Because you got into a friction with nature, you are bound to suffer.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, for the Avatara Purusha, birth and death is every moment. So it's not that one day I'm going to die and one day I'm going to take birth. So for Krishna, every moment is birth, every moment is death. And is Krishna has he ever died? No. As that pure essence, he is not recognized with the body called Krishna. So, is it that, Sambhavami yuge yuge, Krishna says, whenever there is a decline in dharma, Sambhavami yuge yuge, will that Krishna appear with that flute and kirita and that Navilgari? No, that Krishna appears in different forms. But he establishes dharma. He appeared as Rama, he appeared as Krishna, he appeared as Ramana Maharshi, he is appearing as Prabhuji, he is appearing as Modiji, he is appearing as you, he is appearing as Saravananji. In every name and form, it is him only. How much you recognize him is then how you live your life. You recognize him fully, you live life like Modiji or Prabhuji or any other great master. Otherwise, you live your life in half measures. So it is not that Krishna is appearing only in Modiji. No. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every moment is there as pure awareness within you. As that ability to recognize the pure self. You recognize now, you make a statement. This is what I'm going to live life like. And then your life becomes like that. So the difference between Mahapurusha and somebody who is not called as a Mahapurusha is the difference is only, there's a wonderful little story. So there is a ashrama and there is a guru and everybody is following the guru and everything is nice. And one fine day, suddenly the guru has disappeared. Okay, so now there is a chaos. Everybody is worried. What will happen to our guru's jnana? How will we take it forward? Oh, we don't know what to do. Everybody is afraid, scared, crying. And somebody there comes and stands in the front and says, don't you be worried. Before disappearing, Guru gave me all the jnana. Guru told me that I am the inheritor. Come, let us continue our path shown by our Guru. Then everybody calmed down. And then somebody one day asked this new Guru, oh, it must have been a great occasion when the Guru blessed you. How did it happen? And then the next great Guru, he said, I don't know. I don't know when the Guru blessed me. Because Guru has always been blessing me. That day when I saw everybody crying, shouting, getting worried, I just couldn't take. Is this what my Guru taught? My Guru always taught life is a wonderful mystery to live and to share with others. Why are we crying here? I said enough is enough. I don't know whether that Guru will ever come back again or whatever. I felt this is the right thing to say. And I said, and you all agreed, and we moved on. So it's in your recognition, in your statement, in your conviction, ultimately self-realization is.
Okay, sir.
You are as Mahapurusha as that Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna or Prabhuji or Modi ji. Please remember, world recognized them when they had that conviction, and they, in spite of so many challenges and whatever the life threw at them, they continue to walk that path. So those who walk that path, see, it's now for almost like some 30 plus years that Prabhuji has been teaching. So day one when he started, there were one or two people. It's not the recognition from the world. It is a conviction, inner conviction. This is it. When I know this is the truth, then why dilly-dally? When I know that this is the reality, why keep on going into the illusion that one day I will live like that? It is here and now that I recognize, and I recognize and I make a statement, this is how my life is going to be offered. Because what you call as your life, you think it's a small bundle of energy called your body and mind. It is not a small bundle of body or a small bundle of energy called body and mind. You have access to that infinite energy. But you should choose the path. Based on the path, it reflects. Somebody asked Modi ji a wonderful question. How come you have so much of urja for 14 hours work, 16 hours work at this age? How do you feel that? How do you get that energy? Jokingly, he started saying that I eat a lot. They were astonished. What do you eat a lot? मैं हर रोज 100 किलो गालियां खाता हूं. So that is the joke part. But the wonderful nature of the existence is the day is 24 hours and the amount of task is the same, whether you are great Modi or whether you are small chaprasi. A chaprasi decides, this is all my life is worth. This is all I want to do. This is my fate. I will be opening and closing the doors. So he will get energy only to do that much of work. And you give him a little more work. Yo, I'm so tired. They are making me do opening the door and sweeping the floor also. How much work they are doing for the paltry money they are giving. So he gets into all that kind of a complaining. For Modi, for somebody who was realized, you have to fight a war with China, you have to fight a war with Pakistan, you have to be the leader of G20, you have to also inspire your countrymen to have Swachh Bharat, you also have to see how to bring urja to every household, build toilets, build a great country, inspire people to have pride in your culture. Look at the nature of work. How does that energy come? How that urja comes? Is it that God has given a special blessing to him and a less blessing to chaprasi? It's all in your recognition. Until you keep recognizing yourself as a chaprasi, I'm not saying you are, I'm speaking figuratively. Until you keep recognizing yourself as a chaprasi, you will have only chaprasi energy. For example, you say that I am going to work only for myself. Mera pet ka sawal hai ji. So then you will only find ways to how to fill your pet. The moment you say, Mera pet chodo, I will look after the pet of my family. You will have energy to fulfill how to feed your family. Aren't you doing it? You are cooking food for your entire family. How do you find that energy for your entire family? How to do all that? Now you say, I will not only do for my whole family, I will do for all the families in my street. You will figure out. When you say, no, I will not only figure out for my street, I will cook for my whole state, you will figure out. So there is Akshaya Patra Institute, which every day feeds lakhs of children midday meal, especially in all these impoverished and government schools and many other places. They give fresh food for all the children. They feed apparently every day some 15 lakh or 20 lakh plates of food. It is one person decided that, okay, enough is enough. Why education is not happening? Because they don't have enough food. Somebody told that, there is not enough food. People, therefore, they send their children to earn food. Is that all the problem is? Let me see how to make it happen. Look now, Akshaya Patra is born. So it's all in your mind. Whether you feel yourself as a chaprasi or as Modi is up to you. You can feel yourself as Krishna, then you can live life like Krishna. You feel like you're a Duryodhana, you will live life like a Duryodhana. You'll never see the greatness of Krishna.
Sir, you were speaking about habit patterns, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a thinking which is ingrained in my mind that during exams I should be with my child, and otherwise she won't do well. But I get strained, and it will be like I'm not allowing her to do anything. She'll have that in her mind. So last exam I left her, sir. She was playing, and she said she did well. I don't know what happened. I mean, only after the results come, we'll come to know.
So now, how do you feel about it?
I was wondering if I'm doing the correct thing or not. I was not there with her.
Okay. So let me ask a question. Is it better to give somebody, usually it is used with the fish as an example, so I'm using as a phrase. Is it better to feed somebody a fish or to teach somebody how to fish?
To teach.
To teach. Is it better to always make your daughter depend on you, or is it better to make your daughter independent of you?
Yeah, making independent is good.
Is it better to police her, or is it better to bring self-responsibility?
Yeah, bring self-responsibility.
So, are you doing a dharmic thing or adharmic thing by letting her choose?
Yeah, it's right to allow her to choose, sir. But
so the question is, okay, where do I draw the boundary?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
What if I allow and she goes into a wrong path and she completely loses it? My God,
Yeah.
I've become responsible for my daughter's fall in life.
Yeah.
So what is important is your daughter has to feel that you trust her to do the right thing.
When I say that I can't sit with her, she'll be like, I have to sit with her. And but when I sit with her, she'll be like, she can't sit with me the whole day, so I was leaving her, sir. Then I felt better to leave it up to her itself. So then I left because I got fed up. She wants break every now and then. It was like that, and I was not able to spend that much time with her. Giving her so much breaks because I'll have to do my work there. Not
So
able to.
Padmaji teaches small children chanting.
Yeah.
Now, is Padmaji sitting with those small children all through the week and all through the time?
No.
So Padmaji has a ability to how to teach, right?
Yes.
So is teaching only when you hold their hand and then you say, do it, do it, do it?
No, sir.
No. So teaching can happen in 100 different ways. Giving somebody a freedom and seeing how they use the freedom is also a teaching. When you're flying the kite, you first leave some thread and see whether the kite is stable. Then you leave some more, then you leave some more, then you leave some more. So that is one way of dealing with it, right? So
Yes.
again, through your own circumstances, when you have the feeling that the daughter has to learn self-responsibility, she has to take responsibility for her own actions. Fundamentally, you cannot be there all the time.
Yes, sir.
Whether you say it or not, whether you do it or not, at the end of the day, it simply boils down to your daughter.
Yes, sir.
So to enable her to recognize that her actions determine outcome of her actions would be a more sensible thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you do it? That is where there may be doubts and questions. So see, experiment with different approaches. You ask her, okay, so what is the exam? How do you want to prepare for it? What makes most sense to you? Okay, when I sit with you, how is it helping you? Is it that I'm asking you questions? Is that what you need? Then I can come once every hour. I can ask you some questions. What is that you're looking for from me? Why don't you do this preparation and then come back to me? I will ask you some questions. See, our study circle is essentially like that. All of us are teachers to each other. We all go back and study, and we come here and we ask questions and we discuss. Is it that all of us are sitting together all the time with each other?
No.
So this is one way. So like that, do various experiments. How do you know experiment is working? An experiment where you are shouting less, your daughter is crying less, must be a good experiment.
Yes, sir.
Where your daughter is jumping up and down and you're smiling relaxed, must be the best approach.
Yes, sir. Problem is I am not able to set the limits, sir. That is my problem. I'll be just going on and on with her.
You need to set limits. You need to set that limit initially and then keep expanding. See, for example, if you don't have the structure of every week we have to meet, and okay, let us focus on day one talk, then there is ambiguity. There is complete openness. So in complete openness also, it won't work. Complete tightness also, it won't work. So that is why the samatva, samadhi, it's like imagine you take some stick, okay, and you are bending. Imagine it's a bamboo stick and you're bending, okay. Now, where is the tension highest? Where it is compressed the most?
Yeah.
In the downside, correct? When you're bending,
Yeah.
imagine you are bending. At the bottom side, it is the the tension is the highest. It's getting compressed a lot.
Hmm.
Where is the pull or the elongation the most? At the top. Because it has to expand a lot. Neither of them feels natural, isn't it? And if you keep bending, at one point it will break.
Hmm.
So neither of them is natural. But now imagine from the top, you are moving to the bottom.
Hmm.
At the top, the elongation or the stress or the pull is the highest. At the bottom, the tension or the compression is the highest, right?
Yeah.
It's like opposites. At the top, it is the pull. At the bottom, it is the push.
Hmm.
So as you move from the top to the bottom, from the pull to the push, there must be some center where it is neither pull nor push.
Hmm.
That is samatva. When neither you have to pull nor you have to push, and things happen naturally.
Yeah.
That is samatva.
Hmm.
So strike that balance.
Yes, sir. My husband was saying you're cooking the food and even feeding her. Don't do that.
Correct.
Just cook the food, let her serve herself and feed herself.
Correct. Because imagine a day when you are not there, but your daughter can proudly say, my mother let me do things and I am independent because of my mother. Rather than, my mother used to do everything. Now today my mother is gone. I don't know what to do. I'm so depressed. I rather not live.
Hmm.
There is a wonderful poem, Deepaji, because you brought this up. I'll bring it up. It's a slightly long poem.
Yeah.
Still coming up. Let me see. Nice. Okay, can you read it, Rupaji? Is it visible? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
It's not visible. No, sir.
Not visible, is it? Okay, let me...
It's visible. It's visible. Maybe it will take some time.
We can see it, sir.
Yeah, we can see.
I can't see, sir.
Okay.
Maybe it's or
Are you able to see the video that I'm at the screen that I'm sharing, Deepaji?
Yeah, I can see, sir.
Yeah. Can you read this poem?
Khalil Gibran, 1883 to 1931, and a woman who had 2 heirs of children. And he said, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Nice, sir.
So what do you feel out of this?
You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. That's a very strong word. I think some of the times we do the opposite.
No, that doesn't mean that you should not teach anything, not in that sense. But when you recognize that what you're imparting is a limitedness of your own thought process, then you will see how to give a thought which is unlimited. All right. Shilpa Kalaji, sorry, we haven't heard your voice at all.
Yes, sir.
Would you also like to share your views?
Yeah, yes, sir. Like everyone has touched upon Mukti. Mukti is liberation. It is recognizing our true self. So, Aparoksha Anubhuti is also recognizing yourself, or your true self. It is going beyond your five senses. And I feel Mukti is different from Aparoksha Anubhuti. I feel Mukti is the goal, the ultimate goal, and Aparoksha Anubhuti is like Anubhuti's experience. I feel that it is a process or the journey which you undertake by, with the help of your guru and with the help of your of the scriptures through Atma Jnana.
So is your point that
So this is
Aparoksha
what I feel.
Anubhuti is the
What is Mukti?
process
Yeah, is it
of
different from
undertaking the journey?
To attain Mukti, to attain your final goal. That is Mukti.
All right. So let's reflect on that. Aparoksha Anubhuti is not a process. It's not a process.
Okay.
Aparoksha Anubhuti means recognizing your true self. That recognition brings clarity that I am that which I am seeking. And you've always been that.
Yeah, so but the recognition will happen with the help of guru and the scriptures, right? So
correct. However, Aparoksha Anubhuti is to refer to your true self. So Aparoksha Anubhuti is not a sadhana. Aparoksha Anubhuti is the recognition.
okay, sir.
So the process is of course, contemplation on Aparoksha Anubhuti written by Shankaracharya is a sadhana in one sense. But the Aparoksha Anubhuti itself is when there is crystal clear inner recognition that I am that which I am seeking. So I am that is the final recognition.
Okay, sir.
And that is not a matter of experience, it's not a new experience. One day I will sit there and then something else, like Buddha sat
Yes,
under
sir.
the tree and something happened. Like that, it is
Yes.
not a something
Yeah,
that
it's not
happened.
an experience. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, please continue, Shilpakalaji.
So that's all I had on this question on what is Mukti, and is it different from Aparokasha Anubhuti? I mean, I understood that Aparokasha Anubhuti is where it is recognizing your true self, but I thought, like, it's like it's a journey which with the help of Guru and scriptures will lead me to that. So
Correct. So see, that is where in this beginning stages, right, there is an imprisonment, and the imprisonment is in the form of the doership, enjoyership, and the knowership. Then there is a sadhana, Sadguru Seva Satsanga. There is a sadhana through which fourfold qualifications, sadhana chatushtaya, is developed, leading to recognition. And that recognition is
yes, sir.
pointed as Aparoksha Anubhuti. So therefore, in this equation, the right-hand side, there are no other pluses or anything. That is the outcome, in one sense, of all this. So the left side can be thought of as a journey. Right side is the result of the journey.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So therefore, this is the path. This is the process. Sadguru Seva Satsanga, and through the developing the Sadhana Chatushtaya is the path as per Vedanta. Anything more?
No,
I
sir,
wanted-
that's it.
Shubhaji, you want to say something?
Yeah, just one quote came to my mind, which I had noted down by Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world and to become situated in pure consciousness.
Excellent. To be free from the contaminated consciousness. Where is the contamination? As Kamsa Chanura in my mind. And when the Kamsa Chanura are killed, who remains? Krishna remains. Very nice. So that is what Ramana Maharshi is saying through a different set of sentences. Mind is awareness on which you set limits. When you get recognized with the limits, you become the mind. Your true nature is unlimited and perfect. However, you have embraced the limitations and became the mind. So the freedom is freedom from the mind. Mukti is freedom from the mind. Mind of concepts, mind of illusions. Then the pure mind, pure consciousness remains. And that pure consciousness is creative. Pure consciousness is not inert. It's very creative. It functions as Rama, it functions as Krishna, it functions as Ramana. So it functions. It functions as Janaka Maharaja. Shubhaji, shall we end?
Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth to truth, darkness to light, impermanence to permanence. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. From completeness comes completeness. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. Om, peace, peace, peace. ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am Satchidananda Swarupi Shiva. Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satya Darshanam. Recognition of the self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is the recognition of truth. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Like the fruit falls out from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death, from mortality. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you, everyone. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Shivaji. Thank you all. See you all
Hari
next
Om.
Sunday. Hari Om.
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Hari Om.